Welcome to my channel. If you're new to this channel, I want you to know that let's say that instead of telling you how you should travel, because I do believe that everybody has got a different way of traveling and it's fun like that, instead I want to inspire people who already love traveling, or probably those people that probably like me a couple of years ago, where I don't know, they needed a little kick to go and explore the world, right? So for today's video, I want to mention something about Japan. There's a couple of stereotypes, but people think about Japan and Japanese people, which are absolutely not true. Sorry, I'm just using my laptop because I found a very funny page on Google. I was just googling it because I recently done a Australia video about what are basically the stereotypes, but I focused it on the animals and the actual wildlife. If it Because a lot of people think of Australia as a very dangerous country, that you're gonna die if you go there. I don't know. It was quite funny to hear that, and so I thought, what are the stereotypes about Japan and Japanese people? Because there are a couple of them that I came across by just talking to others, but I don't really know them all. So I thought, let me Google them and let me see what people think about Japanese people. And coming from me, that I love, if you know me, I love Japan. I've been there 2 times already, and I'm planning to go more times. Trust me, it's the only country that I've been more than once. Um, I freaking love it. I love the culture. I love everything. I love the food, and this is what I want to talk about. And one of the first points is, as it says here, Japanese eat sushi daily and for every meal. Uh, Wrong. In 2 weeks, the last time I've been to Japan, it was for the cherry blossom season, which I do recommend to go and visit. It's so good, so beautiful. Japan is beautiful in every season. Just Google it. Just Google it. Japan, like autumn, winter, spring and summer, and going to images. It is just breathtaking. But in 2 weeks that I've been to Japan the last time, I probably ate sushi twice. Honestly, twice. There are so many varieties in Japanese food that us Westerners are probably like, I don't know, few of us, hopefully, know about, and it is just mind blowing because Japanese cuisine, it's so like full of goodness. Everything I had in Japan was just so tasteful, and the very cool thing about it is a very light and something very different as well from probably what is Italian cuisine. So in Italian food, we cook everything and we put it all together, right? So there isn't like a very side dish unless it's chips or salads. But what I'm talking about is really condiments, where in Japanese food, you're probably familiar with that if you've been to a Japanese restaurant. Everything is served in little portions, and you have a variety of different meal, which is great because it's really good for your diet. And also the condiments are on the side, and each condiment, hear me out, it's specifically for a specific meal. I had to ask this to my Japanese sister. You all know Moeki. Uh, every time I would go to a Japanese restaurant, anyways, there were these tiny plates everywhere, and I just didn't know what to do with it. So I had to ask her, and apparently, yes, there are sauce for um, a particular dish. But, anyways, if you go to Japan, forget about sushi. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's really, really cheap, but go and explore and try out new things. Let's move on the second one, because this is quite, I never heard of this. So it says all Japanese consume whale or dolphin meat. No. Mm, no, not that I came across with. No, I never even saw it anywhere. Um, Not that I understand Japanese, but I'm pretty sure my friend would have told me, oh, by the way, that's where they sell whale or like dolphin. Now, what is really common, you find Japanese restaurants that they advertise pufferfish, which is fugu in Japanese. So the that funny fish that looks like a balloon and it's poisonous. But I had it and I survived. So thank you, Maggie, for taking me to a good restaurant. It's a must try, but be careful where you go. The third one is everyone, and I do see myself in this. Everyone with tattoos are associated with the Yakuza. All right. If you know me well, I've got tattoos. Actually, I've got 8 tattoos so far. And the first time I've been to Japan was in summer. And this is something that you must know if you also have tattoos. If you're a foreigner, it's totally fine. They basically, what my friend said to me, they don't care about us if we have or we don't have tattoos, if we show them or not. Even the way we dress, it doesn't matter. What it matters is if you're Japanese, you must follow the society rules. So no tattoos, basically. Don't cover the shoulders if you're a girl. All these kind of rules that they don't apply to us. The only thing though that sucks, I love my tattoos, but they won't allow me to go to one of those what's it called? Sort of like a sauna. I don't remember the name right now. It's sort of like a spring water uh, something. I don't remember it. But yes, it is true. It is true that tattoos in Japan are associated to Yakuza members. But it's true as well that, I don't know, there are some Japanese that are with tattoos, and my friend said they just don't care. But it is. Fourth one, Japanese are racist because they're still unhappy about their defeat in World War Two. No, I no, I really don't think that. No, 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 no. It is not true. I don't know if there is somebody like that, but from my personal experience, and that's something you can experience too if you go to Japan. No, people are actually so nice, and they always try to help you out if you're asking for help, even though they don't speak English. I have never encountered any sort of like racism towards me. Never. No, no. I don't know where that comes from. The fifth one is Japanese are super polite. They bow and say thank you to everything. Okay, the bowing thing, it's their way of basically saying hi. Okay, it's something that is not part of our culture. And I'll be honest with you, there's something very funny that you can experience as well if you go to Japan. Me, I'm a sponge. So whatever the locals do, after a couple of days, I'm gonna start to absorb it and to apply it into my routine, basically. So I just found myself when I was in Japan just bowing naturally because you see it like done for everybody. It's just their way of saying hi. But it's not true they do it for everything. I mean, that would be stupid. That would be very, very ridiculous. It's like for us saying this for everything. Absolutely not. It's not true. The fact that they are polite, yes, but obviously by common sense. They're polite when it's necessary to be polite. It's not that they're, again, polite for everything. It's something that is part actually of the British culture in a way. You must be polite, even though you don't mean it. So being polite doesn't mean that you mean it. It's just part of how you were raised, and this is what you gotta do. It's nice though. I'm not gonna lie. It's nice when you go to Japan and everybody is polite, so it feels good. You feel welcome, actually. Um, the sixth one says Japan is a high tech land. Well, it is true, and it's also not 100% true though. So, what I found very interesting, and so if you go to Japan, the very fascinating thing is that you have a mix of tradition and modernity. Modernity? Yeah. And this is really, really cool to see because Japanese culture is very like traditional, it's very rooted in their Asian culture, but at the same time you find some crazy modern things that they just match perfectly with their tradition, and that is just awesome. But I've got to say something, that after being in South Korea, I've noticed how much South Korea is, at the end of the day, more developed than Japan in like tech, like technology in general. South Korea, oh my God, if you've never been there and you love internet and you love a fast Wi-Fi, South Korea is the place, guys. It's the top in the world with the highest, what do you call it? The fastest Wi-Fi. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. They're on top of the list, I'm telling you. Uh, so it's not true from Japan. I mean, I love it. I love their technology. They're cool. They're awesome people, but they're not Japanese cartoons. And if you go to Japan, you'll find a lot of shops where they sell like cosplay costumes. Or if you go to, there is a specifically a Nipponbashi. It's like a neighborhood of Japan. It's an area of Japan where it's all about anime, mangas, the shops they evolve around that. But it is not true because my friend does not do that. She knows about it, obviously. Again, know the culture, but it's not that all Japanese people do that. You're not gonna go to Japan and see everybody dressed up with crazy costume. Some do. I've seen some, but very, very few compared to what we think in our crazy minds. And yeah, that was it. Eight of them. I've done them all. So this was very, very interesting, and actually I made a video about all the different type of Japanese food. I wanted to focus on something that is not that stereotypical. I mean, I guess like every country has got a lot of things to offer. The culture, that people have got a lot more to offer than what we probably think of them or what we think of the country. So I think it's a shame, and it's funny at the same time, that we create those stereotypes about a country or like a population. But I would also say to go to the country and experience it yourself, because you're gonna get a totally different idea from when you were in your country to when then you went to the country, to the foreign one that you had crazy idea about. It's just like opens your mind, and it makes you understand that it's it's just silly to I don't know, generalize people and the country and the culture. I don't know. Just yeah. And by the way, Italians do not love pasta and pizza. We got more things. Probably I'm gonna do one about Italy because I get this all the time and it's not true. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. And if you got other things that you've thought about Japan, like if you have, I don't know, some sort of like stereotypical thing that you think about it, don't be shy. Leave it in the comment because I'll be happy to hear it. And if I don't know about, I'm happy to ask my Japanese friend. So, as always, have a good life. And if you love this kind of videos, feel free to subscribe because more are yet to